Pain is inevitable. Suffering is optional. See, stress creates stagnation in blood flow. It'll shunt blood flow to different parts of the brain so that we can have a better chance of surviving the stress. Fight or flight, this is all instinctive. Blood will go to different areas and go away from certain areas. And where it's shunted from, we'll have weakness. In this video, we're going to talk about that weakness and how to build resilience towards the stress. Just like switching on those circuit breakers, we can use different blood flow points mainly on the head, some on the torso. That'll help blood move back to those weak areas and sort of reprogram that stress response. That'll help us eliminate pain and stress immediately in the moment and get that blood flow back to where it needs to be. And if you stick around, at the end, I'm going to show you some cool reflexes that you can use to build resilience and get stronger. Stick around. Let me tell you a little story about why you want to learn this stuff. See, when I was in massage school, I took an intro to applied kinesiology workshop. And that kind of blew my mind. The chiropractor that taught that class had actually a weekend house in the same neighborhood that I lived in, so that he would come to the beach every couple weeks and we would trade with him and his wife, give him a massage, and he would give me kinesiology. And that really opened the door for not just the intro workshop that I learned about, but how we can delve into those unconscious reactions, which are usually somewhere else in the body from where the symptom actually was. I wanted to learn more of it, and I was using some of the reflexes at home on myself and getting some good results with digestion and physical pain and emotional stress. I actually wanted to learn a deeper form of it, but I wasn't a chiropractor, so I took Touch for Health kinesiology. And going off to learn that cool muscle testing and working with reflex systems like acupuncture and stuff like that, I thought it was pretty macho. I could make muscles strong. Well, I was actually going through a divorce at the time, and through that series, this is like a 9-day workshop, we did something called a color balance and started working with these neurovascular points, and something just shifted huge in me. Here I am, holding these neurovascular points that supposedly bring blood flow back into different areas of my brain, and I know body too, but we were doing this balance, talking about specific emotions, and something just shifted in me. All these things started to come up out of the subconscious mind that I thought I had dealt with. Apparently I had suppressed some things and my body was screaming at me at the time. I started to process it, holding these points, thinking about these emotional things, and then I felt this release in my low back, and this low back pain that had been there for a while just disappeared. And that little light bulb went off right then for me. What just happened? I processed some deeper emotion, holding these reflex points, and a physical pain went away. Well, then I went back home and saw my soon-to-be ex, gave her a big hug, kiss on the cheek, and something shifted in me mentally and emotionally in my behavior. I just wasn't responding to those situations anymore, so I became more resilient to the current stress. What happened? I used some type of somatic tool and had a good intention while I was using it, and that helped me reprogram that deeper belief simply by working some vascular reflexes. This just is one reflex system, very powerful though, that helped me gain perspective and stay present while I was thinking about that. So what was really going on there? Well, like I said, stress affects blood flow. You see, when we stress, blood leaves our frontal cortex. That's that funny part of the human brain where we get to make new decisions. It will leave that area and go back to the hindbrain where the amygdala area is, where we have that instinctive response to get us out of harm's way. It's pretty cool that it's built in like that. The trick is that we generalize situations that look like danger, or we suppress things that we don't have resources to deal with. That's what our subconscious does for us. And then it'll present them for resolution when we do have a resource. So any type of resource like these neurovascular points we're talking about here is a resource. And as long as your intention is good, that you want to frame a new lesson around that problem, you're beginning to process the old stuff. So when the blood flow leaves the front part of the brain and goes to that hind brain, we go into that instinctive fight or flight reaction. Thank you. Now, how do we make a new decision in that moment? We need blood flow back into that frontal cortex again so we can make a decision. So some points on the forehead will help us do that. But sometimes we want blood in different areas of the brain as well. That's one little hack, right? Actually, these points on the forehead I was sort of addicted to for a long time. It was the only reflex I knew that was quickly accessible for me to get me out of stress or pain in a fast way. So we're trying to get that blood flow back to the front part of the brain. How do we even know about these reflexes in the first place? Back in the 1950s, a guy named Terence Bennet discovered these vascular capillary networks where, if stimulated, help blood flow rush to different internal organs. He used a fluoroscope and would stand in front of that, stimulate the points, and see blood rush to these areas really fast. Later, Dr. George Goodhart, who put together that body of knowledge of applied kinesiology, started borrowing from these other modalities, and that was one of them. We needed blood flow to work with muscles. If we already knew blood flow could be stimulated to organs quickly, and through the kinesiology format, we know that those same reflexes affect muscles. So that's why we use these vascular reflexes to help blood flow to muscles at the same time through the applied kinesiology information. Now, these points on the head put you in a very meditative state when they're stimulated properly and you calm down. Basically, that's what they're designed to do, help you calm down. Now, some of them actually on the occipital bone in here will help with the vagus nerve. If you've ever experienced craniosacral therapy or anything like that, we know that the cerebral spinal fluid goes around the brain, makes the cranial bones shift slightly, flows back down the spine, down to the sacrum, and back up again. If any of these guys are out of alignment, that flow is not going to happen so well. A lot of these points will fall right on the sutures and affect the cranial bone movement at the same time. Some of these acupressure points, neurovascular points, fall right on acupuncture points. So we're getting a double benefit there. So how do we stimulate these guys properly if we want blood flow to move properly so we can process the pain and stress? Let's check that out. See, these points are capillary networks. They're not deep in the muscle, and you barely have much muscle right there on your scalp anyway. It's very thin musculature attached to the skin and the fascia before it attaches to the scalp. These areas on the head, see our little chart right here, you can see the slide, are very specific little areas. So imagine when you were an embryo about that big and your cardiovascular system started to grow. The same reflex areas or the same capillary networks were growing, like the heart at the same time was growing subscapularis muscle or something like that, or your small intestines relate to your quadriceps and your abdominal muscles. So some of the same vasculature was being developed and feeding the same networks. We have these little access areas on the head that we can sort of check on those same networks and see if blood flow is moving properly. We know it's not moving properly if we have weakness in a muscle that's related to the reflex, or if we're stressing in a big way and we can't pull ourselves out of the stress when there's no real dire need of get out of danger's way. That's a good thing when we're stressed and getting out of danger. But when we think of something from the past or in the future, we have some anxiety or a physical pain, that's sort of an emotional reaction, physical pain, then we can easily use these points to bring ourselves out of that. So how do we stimulate the points in the first place? Very lightly. We're not pushing. These are not massage, grind into them points. We need to coax these guys to bring blood flow to the area. So the pressure is so light, it's almost like you're just resting the pad of your hand or your finger right on the point. If you could do this, close your eyelid, your eye, and take your finger and touch your eyelid, that's about the amount of pressure you're going to be using. So when we find the point on the head, it's barely touching it, just enough to have your finger lying on the skin, and then we're actually going to push the skin in different directions to see if we can find that taut area where almost like we're doing a tiny little stretch of the skin right around that capillary network. That's what we want to do. We want to loosen up that fascia and soft tissue so blood flow can easily move through there. And you'll know when you're on it, the better you get at it, you'll start to feel a little pulse. This is a capillary pulse. Okay, this is not your normal heart rate or your breathing pulse. This is a capillary pulse, 70 to 74 beats per minute. The points on the side of the head are bilateral, and we would want those to synchronize in their pulse in order for it to move. Now, when you're holding them, of course, like I said, very lightly, you would be thinking through any stress or a goal or just staying calm and being present. That's many times all is needed, because what we need to do is calm the nervous system down. This builds blood flow at the same time. And how long does it take? Now, I'll hold these guys for 10 minutes sometimes if it's very severe. Ultimately, you'll know, if you're working with yourself or working with somebody else, you'll know when it shifts because that big breath comes along. You'll get a nice pulse in the fingertips. That big breath is what comes along. That's what happened for me the first time I experienced it. I thought I was just dealing with some emotional processing, but then I felt that physical pain just melt away. Pretty amazing. With muscle testing, we can quickly check on the strength of the muscle right after we stimulate the reflex to make sure it's strong. Other than that, if we're just using it for stress, holding these points lightly and then allowing the pulse to come, and then that big breath ultimately. That's when we know it shifts. So how are we going to use that in our daily life? What are some basic ways that we can use it? How about anxiety? Okay. If you look on the chart here, those points on kidney, on the lobe part of the skull on the back, it's actually the occipital protuberance right in the center of the skull, right in the center, right there. You could take your whole hand, cover that. The other one's on the forebrain right here. Remember, we want blood flow to bring back to the forebrain and the stomach. Everything affects the stomach. You get that little knot, right? So if we can release that, that's one way to release anxiety. We can hold those front and back. That's an easy way to work with these points. Kind of generic. We're not really going with the finger pads waiting for that pulse, but we are really stimulating those points still and holding them. So anxiety, that's one way to work with this. Any emotion, worry, anger, any emotion that feels like it's hard to control, that it's almost as if that unconscious pattern is controlling you, but you want conscious control. Remember, our conscious thoughts are more associated with that frontal cortex. We need blood flow back in the frontal cortex. So we need to calm the brain down, get blood flow there so we can make that conscious thoughts if we want to override that old unconscious pattern emotionally. How about indigestion? Now, this can happen from food, it can happen from stress, but indigestion, you can see a lot of points on the chart here for internal organs. So these are wonderful to calm that down. We want the internal organs, especially digestive organs, to move smoothly. They need to be supple and soft and move along, get that peristaltic movement to move along. So you can't be uptight. And doing that, we don't digest food when we're uptight. That's literally the meaning of that. It's almost like your vagus nerve had to talk to the organs, tell them to tighten up and get behind the rib cage. We want to relax that. So these are great points for indigestion. What about physical pain? Well, you see any of these points on the chart relate to different muscles as well, so the related muscle could help. Just thinking about the physical pain, sometimes just covering the points on the forehead and keeping the blood flow in that frontal cortex to make the new thought pattern around the physical pain is all that's needed. Told you mine, I didn't even know the physical pain was related to the story I was thinking in my head. Sometimes it's so unconscious. That's the connection. So the physical pain can be addressed with these points as well. So let's show you how I do it. You can see in this other video here where we're working with this sweet lady. She had some emotional reaction actually related to her psoas. So there was some anxiety related to her hip flexor psoas. It relates to the kidney. We were stimulating that point. But the presenting problem was actually the shoulder issue. So we moved the energy and strengthened her kidney channel. And that pulled energy around away from some stuck areas and balanced the whole system. And her gait pattern and everything at the same time. And it actually helped her shoulder work better. So see, as we wait through that process and let things to release, it works really well. Now for myself, I would do almost the same thing. Think about the pain, try to frame it in some way where I want it to go. Right now I'm dealing with a little bit of shoulder issues. I've been dealing with some impingement stuff over here. So some things around the shoulder joint, but more so around the shoulder blade. I know my pec here and my rhomboids have been affected. So I've got some shoulder issues, pec. What am I dealing with? So I would actually just hold some of these points and do a little muscle test for myself. I can do a little self-test. If you don't know how to do that, check one of my other videos. I actually have an intro course linked down below and in the bio that shows you shortcuts to get to these points, just like I'm going to do right now for my own shoulder issue, which is pretty tight right now. So if I had to hold some of these points and wait for my movement, there we go. We got a little point right there. So the point on the forehead, actually on the forebrain point, liver, heart, lung, gallbladder. These are a lot of muscles around the shoulder. Felt a little pop on the vertebrae. And already a good breath. It's almost like as it processes and the muscles tend to wake up, they tend to move back to where they want to be. And then I have more conscious awareness of the relaxing and strengthening effect around that area. So any of these techniques build resilience and they build that unconscious feeling of safety in the nervous system. See, when you feel safe and you know where your body is, like where your bumpers are, then there's no danger because you know you're safe. And even if you have a thought from an old pattern from the past or in the future, you know it's not true because you're in the now and you're safe. So actually, just that little bit of holding at that point right there worked pretty good. Release something right there. That's all there is to it. Holding these points with a light hold. Think through the intention that you want to happen. And allow the process. Let me know how that worked for you right down there below. And check out this next video right here.